When did a goth girl start to mean something like this when it used to mean something like this? If you don't know, the term goth originally referred to one of the tribes that conquered the Western Roman Empire. And believe it or not, you can actually trace a direct line from that usage to the usage we know today. For the first 1,000 years after their conquest, the usage of the term remained the same. But the meaning of goth first starts to change in the 14th century, when Renaissance thinkers began to refer to a certain style of building that was popular in the Middle Ages as Gothic. Classic examples of Gothic architecture include the Notre Dame, the Basilica, and the Canterbury Cathedral. But these buildings weren't actually built by the Goths, who by this point were long gone. The Renaissance thinkers only called them this because they actually thought the buildings were ugly. They wanted to return to the classical styles of Greece and Rome, and so they used the term Gothic with contempt, basically implying that the people who built those buildings were barbarians. I actually love this style, by the way. I don't understand the shade. But then how did we go from Gothic architecture to this? Well, the next step in this chain is the creation of the genre of fiction in the 1700s that came to be known as Gothic literature. This genre was comprised of stories typically set in the Middle Ages, often with dark, brooding, and even ominous characteristics. The works of Edgar Allan Poe and Mary Shelley fall into this genre. Moreover, these stories often took place inside dark Gothic castles, hence the name. From Gothic literature, we then skip forward to the 1970s, where we first see the creation of what comes to be known as Gothic rock. This musical genre was called this because it drew upon many of the same themes and emotional tones as Gothic literature. Early examples of this genre include Joy Division and The Cure, with The Doors being the first band to actually be referred to by this label. And it's directly from that scene that the modern goth movement draws its aesthetics.